Good afternoon, everybody. We got started here once we get some more people in here. We'll take off. Start getting some things going. Got any questions? Hello, everybody. Yeah, better be ready. You got that right. Good afternoon, Leslie. Good afternoon, Rhonda. Hello from Oklahoma. Yes. California. Hello, California. Good afternoon, everybody. Blue shed time. Yes, absolutely. It's time to. Here we go. I'm just going to try to focus on Oklahoma, a little bit of Texas, because there's just look at that. Basically, 18, 20 states covered and crazy weather. A few more people in here. It's cold here in Michigan, yes. I'm blasting less than 30 outside. We're down, I think, to 20 degrees and wind chill near zero. It's brutal, and I'm going to go over a lot of stuff. Round Rock, I was just talking to a fire chief down there at Austin with the state emergency management in the state of Texas. Just got off the phone with him, talking about the Arctic front ahead of schedule, and you guys are going to have problems way south. Yeah, 12-18. Yeah, it's going to be ripping. Okay, I'm going to jump into it here. So obviously, winter storm watches out for all the way from, I'll call winter storm warnings for all the way to Mexico, Texas, all the way up to New York City, Connecticut, Vermont. It's ice storm warnings. East Texas, northern Louisiana, northwest Mississippi is going to be bad. Extreme northwest Alabama, extreme southwest Tennessee, Georgia, Atlanta weather office issued ice storm warning now for all the Atlanta metro area on over into South Carolina and North Carolina. You've got just a peripheral bad stuff. I'm basically going to focus in Oklahoma right now and North Texas. One of the things that's going to go over with you is just talking about all the extreme weather. One of the things that I look at, always look at current conditions on what's happening right now, and that is with the models and also radar. We're going to jump into that. So just look at this real quick here. This is the current HRR, and just say, hey, I want to see what it's doing this afternoon in the last hour or two. Does that have a handle on what's happening currently? And if you look at currently around 3, 4 o'clock here, it sees this precip going on down in northwest Texas and southwest Oklahoma, which is exactly what's going on. And this is national radar, and you can see I've got snow all across western Kansas there, and I'll span out here in western Oklahoma. You got freezing rain rapidly expanding all across the Texas Panhandle as well. And so what's going to happen with time is all that is going to lift up into southern Oklahoma. Northern Oklahoma is going to be a lot of snow. You're going to have a lot of freezing rain. And as the colder gets deeper, the further south, obviously this stuff in the Dallas Metroplex, you're going to have a little bit of time. You're going to go to the freezing rain this afternoon, probably closer to 5, 6 o'clock. And then as the colder gets deeper, you're going to change over to sleet. And then this cold air is going to get down to Waco, and you'll have some freezing rain down south as this cold Arctic front continues to expand moving south. The main thing I want to tell you is the winds are blowing about 20, 25 miles an hour across the state of Oklahoma out of the north. Temperatures are down below freezing, and if I just draw a line right now, kind of where that freezing line is, it's going to be close, not exact, but it's going to get you a good idea. That freezing line it's running across southeast Oklahoma. You can kind of see where the mix is in the south, that Boot Hill down there, and it's something like this right here. It's coming across the Red River right now, just north of Denton, and that's the freezing line, and it's plowing south. That's the 32 line, and as the upper wave, this first wave is starting to expand, they lift between 5 especially from southwest Oklahoma, central Oklahoma, up Smith area, southwest Arkansas. You're going to fill in, all this area is going to fill in with not only rain, you're going to have freezing rain and sleet, right? So we're telling people to get off the roads because with the 20, 25 mile an hour northeast winds across Oklahoma, as this freezing rain, especially this blowing snow now, it's starting to snow now lightly because the air is still dry, but as the snow starts to reach the ground, as this heavier precip from the freezing rain now in southern Oklahoma, it moves up into the colder air. Let's call it near along I-40, and on the I-44 corridor, but the I-40 running from Amarillo all the way over here to Fort Smith, as that heavier precip comes across I-40, you're going to start turning into heavier snow. And with 25 mile an hour winds out there, you're going to go into whiteout conditions. You're going to have treacherous driving. It's going to rapidly develop now, and is developing right now across south central, southwest Oklahoma. And if I go in here to my reports of what's going on with the winter weather, I can go in here and look at road conditions right now, which matches really quick with the reports I'm getting out of Lubbock right now. And Spotter reporting icy conditions, ice already developing, freezing rain breaking out all around the Lubbock area. And on my Spotter network here, I know we're getting those freezing conditions already occurring in that area. So those are the things we're watching. currently right now. And so those are the things that with time, this freezing rain and these rapid ice conditions are going to start forming. And I can tell you right now, again, with a lot of the Oklahoma in the low 20s and even in the teens coming up in northern Oklahoma, as soon as this water hits this low 20s, this is going to rapidly turn into a skating rink. It's just, you're going to have this rapid ice forming on the roads. The roads will go into, even though they're warm, the bridges, overpasses with the temperature, 20 outside, 25 outside, with moderate freezing rain and sleet falling, the roads will be treacherous within an hour. And they're just going to go from dry, you think no problem, you're out shopping, you're out running around, there's going to be massive wrecks. This area down in here, I think in the next 2 hours, you're just going to see just a swarm of wrecks. As this precip comes up in this 20-degree air, you're going to see all kinds of wrecks starting to form on here between now and say 8 o'clock. This whole area is going to just be absolutely treacherous. So that's why you really got to get off the road as soon as possible. Get your stuff wrapped up. You're in North Texas. You're in Oklahoma. You need to get to a place. You're going to hunker down and get ready, because that's what's getting ready to happen. One of the things I'm also going to jump to, because this is a very complex storm, 2 major waves coming out. That's going to be a lot of information here to digest. Is that one of the things is that people say ice storm. Well, you are going to have a sleet storm. Oklahoma, basically along the I-44 corridor, really I-40 northward. This is a sleet accumulation that one of the computer models is putting out. This is off the NAM model, and this is showing like 2 to 3 inches of sleet across Texas, central Texas, northeast Texas. You get up here to the River Valley, this is because the higher QPFs up here, you're talking 5-6 inches of sleet. Okay, this is not freezing rain. This is sleet, like sleet pellets, like little, look like small sleet, right? So when you start seeing these kind of numbers, I'm laughing because it's ridiculous. I've never seen this before ever. So this model thinks, and the other models are having anywhere from 3 to 6 inches. So it thinks there's going to be 8 to 9 inches of sleet. So as that cold air deepens, and you got those thunderstorms coming out of this heavy rain, this batch that's rapidly developing in Dallas moves up into this very strong cold air that's surging into southeast Oklahoma right now. It's cold enough that you're going to get a little freezing rain, but majority it's going to be sleet overnight, and then that sleet rapid spreads across Arkansas by midnight, and this is what's going to fall in the next 24 hours. Like, you're talking 7, 8, 9 inches of sleet, right? It's going to be crunchy, but then you're going to get some freezing rain mixed in with maybe some drizzle mixed in with it, and then the freezing rain is going to be south of that. If we expand out and we'll look at that, the freezing rain is going to be south of that area, so that's going to be on down here all the way from, like, look at this, El Paso, and I can tell you each time the computer updates, like every 6 to 12 hours, 6 hours on these other high-res models, this line keeps moving farther and farther south here. Look at this, I've got freezing rain all the way down to Houston, by as we get into Saturday night, Sunday. I think obviously the worst ice storms going to be here in West Tennessee, also in northern Mississippi. We expect just tremendous amount of freezing rain over here, upwards inch and a half. So we're going to have catastrophic damage over here. So the moral of the story is the cold front, the Arctic front, keeps moving farther and farther south. And the models are playing catch up. They always have a hard time being far enough south with that kind of situation. If we go to snow, that we showed you the sleet. We go up here to snow totals, and these have been fairly consistent over the last 24, 48 hours. The models are in that general range. If we look at the sleet and the snow is north I-40 mainly, let's call it 12 inches, 12 to 20. Some of the models have had upwards of 24. In eastern Oklahoma, there's been some 24 bullseyes, and some models have got, again, 24, 16 to 20 in that area, right? This morning's runs had that same area. Most of the models have that 16, 20 inch. It could be I-40, it could be Tulsa. I'm up here in Tulsa right now. It's where I live. And I've been outside preparing all day. You wouldn't believe it. I'll take you outside and show you what I had to do outside. I've actually put markers along my driveway, so I've got plow. People made arrangements this afternoon to have a guy come with a plow and plow my driveway, because they expect upwards of maybe 2 to 3 foot drifts across all my roads, right? And I'm making my way to AMS on Sunday afternoon for the AMS weather conference, and you got to make sure my roads are plowed. So I'm putting markers, little flags around the edge of my concrete, my driveway, so when the plow guy gets here, he knows where my concrete is, because I expect the drifts to be fairly significant, right? Because right now, if we had heavy snow, if we had moderate heavy snow with the current winds I have outside right now, we'd have blizzard warnings in effect. The winds are very strong. They're 20 to 25 miles an hour over most Oklahoma. It's very cold. So this is a snowfall. And of course, this is actually over the next 60 hours, right, through Sunday morning. It kind of gives you the idea. So you get 12, 20 inches of snow blowing, you're going to create a lot of problems, right? So that's kind of the idea of what we're thinking about right now, and those are the things that are happening with the current system. Yeah, you're getting sleet in Wichita, right? So again, with the models, there's just too much going on over too much of an area. And to be honest with you, all the models depend on which one you want to watch or listen to or pay attention to. I can tell you that between the Weather Service and local TV meteorologists and digital meteorologists online, everybody's trying to do the best they can. The models, because this big upper low has been off the California coast, it's coming on shore tonight, and then it'll make its way east the next 48 hours, and then it finally emerges into West Texas Sunday morning. Very powerful, very powerful. The second wave is very, very powerful, and as it ejects, and it's going to go up through Waco, then over here to like southeast Arkansas, as it ejects up this direction. You're going to have tremendous amounts of moisture, very high moisture and precipitable water throw up and over the Arctic air, and you're going to have a very intense snowstorm, again, from Oklahoma City eastward across northern half of Arkansas, southern Missouri. We're expecting a good belt of 12 to 20 inches of snow in this general area north of the ice storm, right? And then if you're south of that, you're going to have about 200 miles roughly north-south of a sleet storm. And then on the very southern end of where this Arctic front is, you're going to have some freezing rain. As you get back over here, we've got a low-level jet. As we get into Saturday afternoon and Sunday, you got a low-level jet over here at 50 to 60 knots coming off the Gulf, both at 5,000 feet and 850. And that warm, moist air, we call it kind of a warm nose poke at 850. This nose poke is going to go up into northeast Mississippi, northern Alabama. And it tries to keep Huntsville just barely out of the ice storm. But the ice storm is like just west of, kind of over Nashville. This extreme corner here of Alabama gets right in the action of some freezing rain and sleet, later on tonight and tomorrow morning. And then it may actually back up in the northwest county there of Memphis, just east of Memphis here. You get Tupelo, you're in the ice, and the ice line is like right here as we get into later tonight. It's kind of like in this area right here. So the models kind of indicate just west of Huntsville that you get a little bit of freezing rain tonight and tomorrow morning over in this area, and then during the day tomorrow, this freezing line actually backs up maybe one or two counties and ends up being, like this late in the afternoon, and it kind of stops, right? So keep in mind, the models are now forecasting anywhere from, and this is an absurd amount of water. Now, you're not going to get all this as a freeze, because when it rains hard, you're not going to get 100% of that rain to freeze on contact, even with a temperature of 25 degrees. A lot of it's going to run off, but the latest models are, which are absurd, it has 3 to 4 inches of QPF in this area. When you have that high of a QPF and 20 degrees, that's nothing but trouble. I expect massive catastrophic line infrastructure failure on power lines from Greenville, Grenada, Tupelo, Ripley, all in this area. You're going to have a massive ice storm. I mean, you're going to bring down power lines. You're going to be without power for weeks, maybe up to a month. But this is going to be the really bad stuff where you're going to lose power over here. It's going to be very extensive right in this area. And then also in the Atlanta area, you're going to have 1/4 to 1/2 inch of ice. So those are the things I'm worried about right now at this hour. But again, this system is so large and so massive over so many states, it's hard to pin down everything that's going to happen at every location. It's impossible, right? The thing you need to know in the big picture is we've got a major winter storm out across multiple states, from literally the southwest U.S. all the way to New York State, all the way to the northeast, this whole area. And if I go here to warnings and look at that, we've got warnings. Look at all the warnings there. Winter storm warnings. You got cold advisories. You got ice storm warnings now. Look how far south the ice storm warnings now across East Texas now north of Houston, all the way down into almost central Louisiana, ice storm warnings. Look at the northwestern half of Mississippi, ice storm warning. Northwest Alabama, ice storm warning. This is the area that's going to be really, really treacherous. And then we got the cold damming over east of Atlanta, and the wedge, we call it, coming off of there. And you got this big ice storm. You're going to have a lot of freezing rain over there in the Piedmont. So you got Atlanta, and this whole area is now ice storm warning. This whole area, Charlotte, Florence, Atlanta, Dalton, ice storm warning. You're going to have treacherous driving over in this area. And then as you get north, you're going to have heavy snow all up in this area as we get into Saturday night into Sunday. So those areas are going to expand northeast with time. But for the short term, we're really worried about this area. You have a lot of sleet in Dallas, Texas, freezing rain initially, Arctic front gets south, and you're going to change over to sleet as the colder air gets deeper, and then we're hopefully going to be all snow across Oklahoma, is the way it looks right now, and I think that's pretty safe that we're going to be all snow across Oklahoma, and that's what we're hoping for, and that's what it looks like. But you can see, just as I'm talking to you, you can look at all these moderate bands. This is moderate snow exploding across all of Kansas now. It's light to moderate snow, probably snow rates of 1 inch an hour, and look at this freezing rain rapidly expanding. Look how this cold air is surging south now out in the high plains of Midland, Lubbock, Abilene. That cold air is surging south, and that's going to continue through the rest of the day and the rest of the night. The Arctic looks like the freezing rain is knocking on Abilene's doorstep. You got freezing rain now just north of Abilene. That's going to continue to plow south, and so all these roads in here, you're going to quickly start getting roads. You're going to start getting covered with freezing rain, and the bridges and overpasses. They're going to ice up quickly now, especially on the Red River northward. We're already in the low 20s, and this expanding area of precip is going to encompass this area by 5 o'clock. In about 2 hours, this entire area is just going to fill in with freezing rain and snow rapidly now. And the main zone that's going to have immediate problems this evening, as you get into 5, 7 o'clock, it's going to be widespread, but this area is going to have major problems. It's going to be this zone right here, approximately. It's not perfect here where I'm drawing, but you get the idea. It's going to be this area here, because the cold front, this Arctic front here, it's right here. It's going to keep sagging south, and this area is going to start having really bad freezing rain right in here and sleet. And then all this freezing and sleet's going to be all through here. So this is the area that's going to rapidly deteriorate at 5, 6 o'clock. Get off the roads in southeast Oklahoma, Oklahoma City, Fort Smith, Idabel, Oklahoma, McCartan, McAllister, Sherman, Paris. You guys have got to get your stuff wrapped up, because the rain's here and the Arctic air is surging south. So you're going to go into a lot of problems here very soon in the next couple hours, but be matter of fact. So it's going to be a rapidly evolving situation. The conditions are going to rapidly deteriorate, and by tomorrow morning, I would think a lot of roads across Oklahoma are going to be almost impassable, and a lot of areas just from the sleet and the snow, blowing snow, especially the east-west roads. That's kind of what we're expecting in the area, and that's kind of a recap of what's happening. So if anybody's got any questions, be more than happy to answer. Can't answer everybody's question in every state. I think everybody pretty much knows we got a major storm. It's here. It's on its way, and that's basically what's happening, right? So plan is I'm going to stick around the house for a while yet, and then we'll look at later on the night and in the morning, maybe getting out and looking at some of the snow and sleet around Tulsa. But I can tell you it's very, very cold outside. Out here. I'm going to show you something I did. It's kind of unusual. This is from my building days. I'm going to take you outside here with me just real quickly. It's kind of interesting. So because we expect maybe a couple feet of snow, 12, 18 inches, maybe 2 foot. Some of the models weren't too far from that. I'll take you outside here and show you what I did at my own house. It's going to look crazy, but this is the kind of stuff you got to do, right? Because you got to think ahead, right? Because I've got to have my driveway plowed. I know what's going to happen, right? So if we get 18 inches, 12, 18 inches of snow, and it's drifting through snow, comes off this roof here, on the south side, I get drifting going over here, right? So what I did is I put marker flags out and outlined the driveway everywhere, right? So went down, should be back, hang on. I went over to 5G, I'm inside, so I turned off the Wi-Fi, so you should be good. Tell me if you see me. I should be there. You guys see me okay? Turn off the Wi-Fi. Tell me if you see my live stream. So I got 5G outside. Should be rock solid. Hello? Can anybody see the live stream okay? I see your live stream. Okay, you're back. Okay, good. So outside in the aerobic system, so what you do, you have these little heads that come on during the night to get rid of your fluid water. So once you're down to, they're not going to freeze immediately, but what you do is that this little trick I do, and it absolutely works. So I just get some, extra, buckets. You go down to Home Depot, get a little bucket for $5. So what you do is your head, it's like 25, 24 out here. Well, I'm going down to 0 to 14 below 0. So over a 5, 6, 7, 8 day period, when this head comes on and sprays out the Flint water at nighttime, and you're 10 or 15 degrees, what happens over time is this can get solid iced up where they won't spray at all. And then you get water backed up, right? So what you do, muted. Okay, not muted. I'm live. Okay, let's do this. Hang on. I'll do this. Stand by. Sound is good. Okay, we can hear you. Okay, great. You still hear me? Okay, thank you. So anyway, so it's a fluid hit. So the water comes up, sprinkler goes just like a sprinkler. right? So what you do is you just take an empty 5-gallon bucket, right? Before it gets cold, right? And I'm covering it. That's it, right? And it's going to make the water stay right there. And so what it does is when the flood water comes out, which is probably 40, 50 degree water, right? What you do is it covers, so what it does is it keeps the head from freezing up because it takes the warm water will stay right there. Yes, it'll run, water will run out and it'll drain instead of spraying over the whole yard. If you do that, 99 times out of 10, it'll keep the head from freezing, right? It's a real simple, quick fix because the last thing you want to do if your head's freezing up outside is go outside when it's 0 or 5 degrees and you're trying to break your head so your aerobic system goes off like it's supposed to, right? That's a real simple trick. Got two spray heads here, it's really green, and it's just really easy to do. Really easy. It's quick. It works, and a lot of people won't tell you about it, but it's from my building days. That is another little golden secret. Will save you a lot of money and trouble. It takes you 2 minutes to do it, and then when the snow and ice is over with, you go out and you pull it off. It's no big deal. Put it back, wash it out, put it back in the garage. You can save it for the next time, right? So little tricks like this, marking off your driveway and things like that, works really well. Another thing I'm going to do here real quickly before the precip starts, it's my sky conditions outside have we had a lot of dry air move in at low level. The dew point here is, I believe I was 1 or 0 about an hour ago. So really dry air came into northeast Oklahoma. There's negative dew points north and the mid-level clouds are rapidly increasing now. So now what's happening is that cloud, we're saturating the air because you look at the sky conditions like I'm north of a warm front. So what's going to happen is it'll take a little bit of time, an hour or two, for the precip to start because the air at the lowest couple thousand feet's dry, then it has to saturate that. And at some point it'll totally saturate the atmosphere. And then we're going to start getting big bomb flakes coming down north of I-40, right? So we do that. The next thing I'm going to do is with the, again, you've seen this online before, and I got some plastic. So what I'm going to do is I got a tarp and some plastic. I'm going to put a little tarp down here and a little piece of plastic running right here out of the door. So after the snow finishes, before the guy comes and plows, I can just pull the plastic up or the tarp up across here, and I'm going to take all the snow, 2 foot of snow, whatever's here, 1 foot duress, 2 foot duress, and I'm going to take and just pull the tarp back, so that way your door area you don't have to worry about ice, on the side doors and go out to the trash and things. So I moved everything close to the door, trash. You don't have to go outside and get to the trash deal over the next 10 days. And so it just makes it easier on you after the fact, right after the storm. You're trying to get to your garbage cans, but literally just put tarp down, like right by your door, leave it there for the whole event, and then when it's done, you just pull the tarp up. And you basically almost got dry pavement. Makes it really safe to walk on because we're going to be below freezing here in Oklahoma for about 10 days, maybe, I don't know, 8-10 days. And then we got another storm coming, not as powerful as this one. It's going to be really powerful on the East Coast. I don't even talk about that yet because that's like totally out of control. But we could have another 4-8 inches across Oklahoma again, right? So those are just some real quick tips to get prepared for this storm. I-40 North, I don't think we're going to have any power outages. Sure, somebody could run off the road and hit a telephone pole, or you could get a transformer substation to go out because you're going to be high power demands, right? Because everybody's turning their power on to more electric heaters and things like that, keep things from freezing. So I don't think power is going to go out really in Oklahoma. We could have some power outages in places, especially get to southeast Oklahoma where the freezing rain and sleet is. But now the thing that you got to worry about is really southern Oklahoma. The sleet's going to accumulate, but generally that won't bring down power lines. That's kind of like that just falls, and it's not too bad to drive on. But the real slippery, really bad stuff is going to be extreme southeast Oklahoma, far northeast Texas, and then really northern Louisiana and northwestern half of Mississippi. That's where the really bad ice storm. That's going to be like solid sheet of ice, like can't stand on it. Nothing I highly recommend. Again, this is from experience, not only just chasing, but just at your personal house, right? This is going to sound really stupid, really crazy to people, especially in the ice areas. Think about after the ice storm and the sleet, as you're walking outside, and how many videos have we all seen online where people walk outside and they slip on the ice and in their head. And matter of fact, Randy was telling me in the state of Texas, and this is everywhere, all in the United States. He's a fire chief, retired fire chief there in Central Texas and also fire department. And Randy, I just talked to him a few minutes ago and I said, hey, Randy, what is the story? When do you have the most accidents? He goes, Jeff, it's actually after the storm, people go outside to start working and retrieving. And he goes, we have a lot of head traumas because people slip on the ice. So I'd wear a helmet It sounds crazy. Wear a helmet when you go outside. If you're walking on that sleet and snow and ice and you got to walk down a steep driveway or steps, you got to think about safety, right? Because that's a big deal. Because this is such a wide, big storm in that area. Just 18, 20 states are going to have freezing rain, sleet, and snow. You got to worry about those things. You got to worry about your in-laws, your family members, and this is the kind of thing. You got to get the ice cleats. Absolutely, get the ice cleats. Absolutely, positively. But those are just a few things I'd recommend to look at. And so it's going to be interesting. I'm going to go back inside. It's really, really cold. But anyway, it's one of those things that this is a little quick tip of what I was telling you about. I don't know if everybody heard that. When I was outside with the aerobic system, is basically take a 5-gallon bucket and put it on top of the sprinkler heads. So we're going to be below freezing about 10 days here. So what I do is just put the bucket on it, and it keeps your sprinkler heads from freezing, right? Even though the water's off to my sprinkler, but it's just that the aerobic system goes off every night. I can tell you, looking at the radar here, this freezing rain, sleet, and snow is rapidly expanding. My clouds are lowering rapidly now in Tulsa. The ceiling's coming down. It was real high while it goes, really dry air. The air is starting to saturate now. Look at this precip. This guy's like doubled in the last 15 minutes. These are very heavy cores, and the Arctic front now it gets hung up sometimes on the mountains down here. They're not real high in southeast Oklahoma, and then it gets shoved south here in an hour or two. It'll go around. It'll ooze on this side, and it'll ooze on this side, and it'll get shoved. And all this heavy rain down here in northeast Texas right now is going to go to moderate freezing rain across southeast Oklahoma, and then it gets deeper and colder. You'll go to sleet right at Fort Smith. But look at all this. Look at all the rain and sleet coming out right now. And thank goodness that we're going to look like we're going to be all snow north of I-40 from both events, both tonight's event and tomorrow's event. Looks like we're going to probably stay all snow. This is ballpark. This is not perfect, but it gives you a good idea. Something like, it's going to be something like that. It's not that curvy, but something like that. You're going to be all snow ahead of that line right there, all north of that red line approximately. No, it didn't draw that really well, but anyway, you get the idea. Basically, not north of I-40. That's really about it. Things are going to go downhill rapidly now. And then once this happens, and again, you're going to have blowing and drifting snow, things will be deteriorating rapidly. And hopefully, if you got loved ones or you got people, you got family members getting off work here shortly. Right now, it's 4 o'clock. Get to the store, get your gas, and get home quickly, because things are, I just cannot impress upon enough how fast things are going to go outside. It's dry right here, and then probably, especially down here where you're going to get freezing rain versus we're going to have snow up here. The conditions aren't near as bad up here. They will get bad, but they're not as bad as treacherous. You get moderate freezing rain in 25 degrees down here, or in 28 degrees, the roads are going to turn to skating rinks really quick. This whole area, southwest Arkansas, western Arkansas, southeast Oklahoma, northeast Texas, north central Texas, Ardmore area, you're going to start having wrecks all in this area. They're going to flash freeze the bridges and overpass, especially when you get into 2025 with moderate freezing rain, right? Yeah, kitty litter is a really good idea. There's a lot of great ideas, right? Out with the weather and the storms and things. I'm trying to think of anything else to cover with you guys. If you got any questions or anything, I'd be more to try to answer them. There's so many things, but again, I would listen to your local meteorologist, local TV station, NOAA, the NOAA National Weather Service people. They're doing an excellent job. This is going to be a rapidly evolving situation, and there's going to be areas where, they forecast the snow. I thought I was going to get 8, I got 2, because if you get sleet mixed in the snow, it's going to bring the snow totals down dramatically. It really cuts the snow totals down a lot. We're going to have, and I didn't cover this, all of them will show this too. We're going to have regular thunderstorms in central Texas, northern Texas, because with their first system and then second system. The models show it. We got lightning indicators that tell us that, and the models tell us that we're going to have lightning. We're going to have thunder-sleet across Oklahoma and Texas tonight, this afternoon. That's going to be developing here shortly. We're going to have thunder snow tonight in Oklahoma and Arkansas. The models explicitly show that, as well as North Texas. You're going to have thunderstorms. You're going to have freezing rain thunderstorms. We're going to have thunderstorms with sleet in North Texas and southern Oklahoma, and we're going to have thunder snow. Not only with tonight's event, but also with the big mega bowling ball system ejects on Saturday night, Sunday across the southern plains into the Delta area, Mississippi Delta area. Expect all that's going to happen, right? And in places, especially when you're close to that freezing rain, sleet line, or just rain freezing line, you may have rain and sleet. And some of the computer models actually even yet this evening said, like on I-40, we may have rain, freezing rain, sleet, and snow all fall at the same time. And then finally, when the air gets deep enough, after about 6 p.m. local central time here, it's 4 o'clock, 3:57 to be exact, then we finally get the cold air deep enough that we actually go to all sleet, I-40 south, and we're all snow north of that, and it's moderate snow starts falling, and we rapidly start accumulating from west-northwest of Oklahoma City, which is filling in now, and a band of like 3 to 12, 3 to 8, 4 to 8 actually overnight along I-40 corridor, and we could be upwards near 12 inches near and south of Tulsa, Muskogee, Salisal, Fort Smith. Don't be surprised you wake up tomorrow morning with a combination of a couple inches of sleet and maybe 6, 8 inches of snow combo, something like that. You may have 5 inches of sleet and maybe 2 inches of snow, but it's gonna alternate, right? Because the sleet does bring down the snow total. So, like I say, my message is really people in the weather enterprise system are trying to do the best for the public and trying to tell you the best information they have. And I can tell you this thing is so dynamic across the entire United States. And the models are having a little bit of problem. All the models are like, they're getting a little bit better, right? This morning, they're a little bit closer, and like they're all kind of starting to say the same thing now, at least in Oklahoma and Kansas and Texas and Arkansas. They're kind of getting really more defined on where the heavier precipit's going to fall and what's going to be freezing rain, what's going to be sleet. It's starting to get a little bit better. So the Weather Service said, I've updated their numbers, the total storm totals and the snow totals. Norman just up theirs to 12 plus now in Oklahoma City, with isolated amounts of 8. Tulsa said 12 to 18, which I agree with 100%. Even a couple models are hitting at 24. We'll see if that happens. So everybody's doing their best they can out there, right? So that's what everybody's working really hard all over the United States. I mean, all the weather people behind the scenes on air and behind the scenes, the hurricane hunters are out in the Pacific are still out there doing upper air data with the hurricane. That's helped the models dramatically before the system moved on shore to give us an idea where it was going, what it was possibly going to do. So that helped dramatically. It was very impressive when their extra data set got injected into the model, the GFS European model, GFS in the US model, when it got injected into that. We definitely saw a shift in the models as some of them came back north. The QPF increased in the models because it saw how big and how powerful the system is. So that data set was very valuable to the weather enterprise. And if they make good forecasts, then businesses and schools and airplanes and airlines can make better forecasts. Like we got short operations down here. No, we can still fly till Saturday noon because we're still going to be 50 in rain and not ice. So it impacts commerce all over the world, really. So like I said, everybody's working hard. I know, be nice to people on social. If you got more snow or less snow than or ice that was forecasted, don't be mad at the weather people. They're trying to do their best they can. I promise you, they're really trying to do their best they can. Anyway, that's really it for right now. Probably do an update a little bit later tonight. And wait for it to start snowing, because as soon as it starts snowing, it's going to be a blitz out quickly, and we're going to visibility drop like that, and it's going to look like a blizzard. And I'm sure it's going to happen pretty quick. I bet by 7 we've got some really beautiful, crazy snow going on, and I'm really kind of excited because I think we're going to get some thunder snow tonight. And I got to be honest with you, I'm kind of waiting for that. To be honest with you, I think we're going to get some. I really think we're going to get some thunderstorms really close by Tulsa, I-40. Coming up near me, and if we get some thunder snow, baby, I'm all over it. I'm gonna be there. We're gonna get it right. That's kind of right down my alley. So anyway, that's it from Tulsa, Oklahoma. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. Stay warm, stay safe. It's just the weather. It's all we got, right? So it'll be a lot of fun for a lot of people, and not a lot of fun for a lot of people as well. People out plowing the roads and helping people out in the field. During accidents, move over to the other lane, away from stalled traffic. Try not to stop on bridges and overpasses. Don't tap your brakes on bridges and overpasses. If you see flashing lights ahead of you, move over to the other lane so you don't hit people, right? Run over people. That's really, really important. It's law in all the states, right? Move over, slow down. And the main thing, when this thing first initially starts, and only from here, but it goes northeast, in those first hour or two, when the precip starts, don't get lured in. You think it's 30 degrees or 40 degrees, and hey, I'm fine here, but you go 10 miles north and the temperature drops 20 degrees. Next thing you know, when you're 18 and it's preciping, it's going to be a sheet of ice that quick. I've seen things go from wet, I'm like, oh, I'm fine. I go to the next hill and I see 10 wrecks on the other side of the hill. So that's the kind of environment we're in, especially in the Southern Plains this afternoon and tonight. And as that rain breaks out, and that freezing rain breaks off to the east, that's what you're going to be on the, Ohio Valley, the Delta, going on up into the East Coast, Atlanta. It's that first 2 or 3 hours of this stuff starting, and people get caught off guard, and it's you got to be really careful. Anyway, I rambled enough. That's it for right now, and conditions are definitely rapidly deteriorating. My ceiling's coming down. It's like, matter of fact, my ceiling's probably, I've got about 1,000-foot ceiling now, and it's turning really white. I actually got a snow band now just developing west of me here on a national. It looks like just west of Enid there, east of Enid, Watauga, Oklahoma City. You got precip coming in there now. So let me see what current temperatures are. I'm going to look at another map here and look at my temperatures real quick and see what crazy. So yeah, they're reporting all kinds of reports now are coming in from Southwest Oklahoma. Let's see what they're reporting. Got some school closures, business closures, freezing rain now reported in the Red River at Wichita Falls. You are 20. It's pretty ridiculous. Freezing rain at Wichita Falls, 29 degrees, 22 dew point, and they've got the light to moderate freezing rain now. All that pink right there is freezing rain rapidly moving into Southwest Oklahoma. Southwest Oklahoma, you're going to have a skating rink really, really quick. The temperatures on I-40 out there by Elk City, you're 16 degrees with a -5 dew point. -5 dew point. That's absurd, right? 28 degrees with a 11 dew point in Southwest Oklahoma. So that freezing rain is going to take a little bit of time to get evaporated to the ground. It looks like Duncan, you're reporting moderate drizzle, and looks like you're 28 degrees and moderate drizzle. So this area in Southwest Oklahoma is reporting a lot of freezing drizzle, freezing rain now is breaking out in this area. So what we talked about is you get that freezing drizzle and all that stuff breaking out here in Southwest Oklahoma, and it's like in the low to mid 20s right here, and then mid 20s here and low 20s just north of Oklahoma City. So as that band rapidly expands north, we're going to start getting snow. 16 degrees in Enid, that's up to the north there, up in the north part of the map. And Oklahoma City, Edmond, Oklahoma City, Will Rogers is 25 degrees, -4 dew point. Multiple business and school closings. Wind gusting in Oklahoma City out of the northeast at 31 miles an hour. You guys, you get snow moving to Oklahoma City with winds out of the northeast at 31. You're going to have whiteout conditions, and it's rapidly deteriorating now across Southwest Oklahoma. That's coming north and east. Tulsa's at 24 now. I'm gusting to 28 miles an hour. Barlesville, north of Tulsa there on top of the map, upper right corner, 20 with a -6 dew point. Winds are gusting out of the northeast at 33 miles an hour. So that's the area, the precip's moving in southeast Oklahoma. You're down in the low 40s now at Idabel, just south of Poto. You're at 37. Looks like the freezing line is just about to Henrietta, or crossing Henrietta McAllister at 37. Kanawha down toward 80, you're 30 now. Davis in south central Oklahoma near Sulphur there, you're 34. So freezing line is just about to pass Davis and Ardmore. So the freezing line is it wiggles through here, but it's just about to cross the Arbuckles down there in south central Oklahoma, and that's going to be happening over the next hour or two. So the freezing line right now this is close, not perfect here. It kind of makes a little bend, and it does this, and it kind of wiggles like this, and then wiggles like this, and drops obviously it's down in here. But this freezing line is moving south. The rain is intensifying here, and it's going to go to sleet. And then you're going to have freezing rain first, and then you're going to go to sleet. And then when it gets up here, you'll start getting snow, sleet and snow mix up in this area. And snow's rapidly continue to form now in central Oklahoma, and conditions are rapidly deteriorating. So that's it from Oklahoma. We'll give you more updates later. We'll see how much snow we get. I'm thinking 8 to 12 overnight, and could have 12 inches plus on the I-40 corridor for the first system, with another 8 to 12 inches on the second system as we get into Saturday night, Sunday. All right, guys, everybody stay tuned. We'll try to give you more updates as we can later. Appreciate everybody tuning in this afternoon. Thank you. Bye-bye.